Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here, coming at you with another trail tip, and today I'm going to show you a modification I'm going to make to the magazines for my Henry U.S. survival rifle. This will also work with the other versions of this gun, the Charter Arms and the Armalite version, because the magazines are pretty much the same. There are some minor differences, but it will still function the same way. When I got it, of course, it came with the two magazines, and the problem I have is you can tell just by looking whether you have a round in the magazine. And I can look down in here and I can see the second round. And there's even a notch here on the back that this comes from the factory, that I can see the fourth round in the magazine. But after that, I don't know. I look at this and I say, well, I have at least 4 rounds. I might have 5. I might have 6. I might have 7. It might be completely full and have all 8. There's no way to tell unless you want to do this modification. Now, I don't know whether it'll show up here in the video, but I'll put a picture of it up. And I've drilled a couple of holes, one in each one, right in line where that 8th round is when you have a full magazine. Where to put this hole, that's what this video is going to be for. If you look at the side, there's this little raised portion that's been stamped out of the metal when it was manufactured. And this is actually the stop when you put the magazine into the receiver. That's what stops it. And you look at it and it kind of looks like a square that's been tipped over. What I'm going to do is mentally take that square and draw a line halfway through it. Now, it's important to note that I don't want to do this perpendicular to the front and the back of the magazine. I want to do it parallel to the top and the bottom. I want to draw this line this direction, not this direction. I simply draw a line cutting that square sticking off to a side all the way to the corner, and then when I get to the back, I simply draw a line across the back that's square with the back, center it up, and that's where I drill my hole. That's all it takes. Now, if you want to double check it, it's 1 3/8 inches from the bottom of the magazine to the center of the hole. You can calculate that, take a ruler and measure that out and double check it. But you don't have to be right on that. You can give it a little bit of leeway because you have the diameter of a 22 LR to play with a little bit. So this, you don't have to be right, completely accurate. You're not being a machinist here. And so what happened is when I bought the rifle, I asked the dealer at the gun show if they had any more magazines, because you can store 3 in the barrel or in the buttstock. He said he didn't. A couple weeks ago, I got an email from him, and he said that he had an extra magazine, or he had ordered me a magazine, and if I'd be at the gun show in a couple of weeks, I could pick it up. And I says, that's great. I'd love to have one. I'd love to have 4. Well, he came through for me, and I ended up with 4 more magazines. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you right now, take one of these. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this modification. All you need is your magazine, a pencil, and a drill with a 1/8 inch drill bit. That's the size I use. You can use a little bit larger or a little bit smaller, however you want, but that's the size I found that works. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to mentally, or just eyeball, drawing a line, cutting that little square that's leaning off to the side, continuing it on over to the corner, drawing a line across the back, square with the back, center it, and then I'm going to simply take my drill and drill it out. Now, I know some people are going to cringe when they see me do this, and they say, well, you should take it apart because you don't hit the spring and everything. I don't worry about stuff like that. And that's all there is. Now, when I take and put 8 rounds in this, I can see now that I have 2 rounds in there. I can see in this factory notch that I have 4 rounds, but I can see that there's nothing here in that hole. So I know I have at least 4 in there. Now I know I have at least 5 because I still don't see any brass in that hole. There's 6. There's 7. And I can see the follower down in there now. And when I put my 8th round in there, I see brass in that hole. So this is Backpack Hack coming at you with this trail tip for you AR-7 survival rifle owners. Just get yourself a pencil and an 1/8 inch drill and make sure that you drill these out when they're empty. That's very important. I forgot to mention that. You want to make sure that there isn't a round in there that you might hit, because that could be rather bad. Make sure you have an empty round. Make sure you look in and see, you can see the follower up here. So this is Backpack Hack coming at you with this trail tip. If you want to modify your AR-7 survival rifle magazines with this, be safe out there, and I'll see you out on the range.